Hi guys, I'm glad you're all here. Thank you very much for taking your time to join me today. At 5:52 a.m. there in Oregon, there was a magnitude 4.4 earthquake. USGS originally had it as a magnitude 4.2, but they upped it to a magnitude 4.4 after 4,254 people sent in their reports. USGS gave it an intensity level of 6, meaning it was felt indoors by many, and then they were frightened. Some ran outside. There was falling plaster and chimneys. Small damage. There was reports of light damage, things falling over. And it was felt over a very wide area. Astoria, it looks like. All the way down south. Let's see, Roseburg? Is that Roseburg? I can't read it. No. Yeah, Roseburg. They gave it an intensity level of 3. Over here, doesn't give a name of that area. Let's see here. Coos Bay, intensity level 2. Cottage Grove, intensity level 4. My goodness. Okay. Vida, intensity level 4. And then intensity level 6. One response. They must have had some damage. Lebanon, intensity level 5. Going to Google Earth, here's the location of that 4.4 earthquake. Back on March 18th, there was a magnitude 2.6. And let's bring this out. There is one definite fault line that runs close to here along the foot of this mountain or mountains. And I drew out in orange a suspected fault line. As you know, rivers often follow fault lines. This area, it was uplift. Yeah, spreading. And the fault dipped a little bit going towards the southeast, it looks like. Tension was applied going north. So you can kind of see we got these hills here. Yeah, so it uplifted. Yeah, interesting. I can't really read it here, but I think this says Cave Creek. I could be wrong. Those of you that might live there could correct me if I am wrong. This here is the Oregon Framework Hazards Map. This is that fault line. Yeah, I had to measure it out from Yellowstone Mountain, Crabtree Mountain to get the exact location. We got Keel Mountain over here for this fault line. They don't have a name on it. And we'll bring it out and it shows you all the hazards there for Oregon. Yeah, we got Corvallis, Mammoth. Let's bring it out a little bit more because you might be interested in it. I'll give you a link to this. It'll be below this video in the information tab. I believe it was 45 reports were sent into EMSC that they felt it. Here it says, woke up the household, 3 to 6 seconds, no structural damage to residents. And they were 18 kilometers southwest. So that would be almost, not quite, 12 miles southwest. Another one says, in Sweet Home, woke us right out of bed. Felt like someone hit our house with a car. Okay, another one from Sweet Home. Heard a boom like something hit the house. Woke up immediately. Up with the shaking of the bed and rattling of the house. Felt like a freight train was passing by at high speed too close to the house. Glad it was a quake and not a world event. Yeah, ever since Biden said we're closer to World War III than we were in 1962 during the Cuban crisis. Yeah, people are on edge. I had 2 uncles that were in the Navy during the Cuban crisis. One was flying on board the U-2 spy plane, and another one was on a vessel out there during the Cuban crisis. My mother stocked up on food. She had the pantry almost to the ceiling, filled with canned goods. People were building bomb shelters. Yeah, everyone was getting prepared, and now Biden says that we're closer to a war than we were even then. And the things that came out later, we almost went to war. There was one sub that was given orders if they lost contact with Moscow, they should fire off their nukes. And luckily, when he lost contact with Moscow, he decided to wait. Let's see, Lebanon. Woke me up, whole house shook, picture fell off shelf. Very violent shaking. Felt like someone grabbed the house by the shoulders and shaking it. Lasted several seconds. Retired from Alaska. Felt like home. Yeah, they've been getting a lot of earthquakes there and have in the past. Another report from Lebanon. Heard a low rumble. Dogs were slightly alarmed. Nothing fell or broke. Another one says, I'm used to earthquakes in California. This felt more like a bomb blast. Pictures knocked off the walls. The whole house shook. Okay, another one from Lebanon. I don't know if it's a typo or what, but it says it felt like the size of a cow. Maybe they meant a car. Or, maybe they meant a cow. Felt like something the size of a cow or a small car hitting the house. Made my chair and computer move a bunch. Okay, sudden large shake of the house. Was my first one. Was only a few seconds long and felt like someone quickly stomping around the house. Albany, about 27 miles west or 44 kilometers. The bed shook abruptly, then stopped. Another one says, woke them up. Bed shook and house creaked. One big shake with a second or two of smaller movement, very short, but intense enough to wake me up and my two kids from sleep. Okay, what else we got? This one says it lasted 1 to 1.5 seconds. Albany, another one, says it shook the whole house and things fell from the shelves. You need to secure your objects. Another one from Salem. Felt like a rolling earthquake, not a shaking one. Woke us up was a short jolt. Felt this one, knew straight away. Another one said shaking for about 3 seconds. That was from Salem also. Nothing too serious, just felt like a 10-second wiggle. Corvallis, they said they felt it. Another one says house rolled. Very short time. Okay, this one here woke me up at 5:53 a.m. I was on the second floor of my house and could feel the house moving for several seconds. There was another report. I don't know if it's on here. I read it on a news report where their lights and power flickered twice before the earthquake struck. So I thought that was interesting. There was some kind of electrical charge that interfered with the power. No text alerts for earthquakes went out. The reason being it wasn't strong enough. Here we got alert thresholds to people. Who is alerted? Well, if it's a 5.0, general public with WEA capable devices, wireless emergency alerts. A 4.5, people who have downloaded a cell phone app. And the last one, 4.0, automated alert through the public address system, light sirens, in-house appliances. Well, it was a 4.2, and they upgraded it to a 4.4. But they didn't do this, did they? Yeah, and let's bring it down a little bit. Machine-to-machine alerts for 4.0. I wonder how many factories have this automated alert through public address systems, light sirens, in-home appliances. That might be something to look into, wouldn't it? And it shows a little speaker there making the announcement. Now this is from USGS. Their shake alert, it says At a magnitude 4.4, the earthquake was just below the threshold for cell phone alerts to be delivered. As you can see in the graphic below, these will be delivered at a magnitude 4.5 and larger. We know many of you felt shaking, and we hope you took a protective action, like drop, cover, and hold on. Now, there was a question sent to him. It says, which cell phone app do you recommend? And USGS said, I use my Shake Alert on my Android. Also, I think most phones have one built in, but I think you have to turn it on. I'm not 100% certain on the thought. Okay, that was from another user, and they sent it in, I guess, to USGS. USGS didn't bother to answer. They also said they were wondering about that and looked at my app because I realized it didn't go off. Didn't remember the threshold, but I didn't have permission set properly on my new phone anyway. All ready now. So did you feel this earthquake? It's now up to 4,400. There you can see intensity level 6. Please put that information down below. Another reminder to be prepared for a disaster. Yeah, who knows what it will be. And if you stock up, you're actually beating inflation. Evidently, there in California, the West Coast, possibly even Oregon, they got the bird flu just really kicking in there, so eggs and chicken's gonna go up and probably be shortages. If you are a prepper, don't tell your neighbors, don't tell anyone else, because if something does happen, guess who they're gonna come to get food when they did not prepare? Yeah, you. So put those thoughts down. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you later. God bless you.